Rue, start the show! I'm Beatrice, your badass branding strategy girl, and welcome to the Art of Branding Badassery podcast. Rue expects your best branding game. You don't want to miss out on 95% of your audience, do you? Would you date someone that doesn't know what they stand for? In today's episode of The Art of Branding, I'll be tying over the first 3 episodes and giving you further tips on mission, vision, why, and drawing out your brand voice. I'll tackle questions posed like spotting inconsistencies in branding and maintaining a clear brand voice across platforms. Let's start with the usual question of what's really the difference in values, vision, and mission. Your values, think about what you stand for, believe in, and won't compromise on. Mine is everything badassery. Edginess, creative, open-minded, embrace and drive change, dare to be different. Your vision is the problem your brand is addressing and who it's for. Not a surface level one either. The pepper spray isn't really to ward those creepos away. It's for a sense of protection. And as Michael so well said it, the North Star, mine, well, it's to guide 1,000 brands to find their unique stance so they stand out in their space.
That's where the vision comes in, is like the vision is your North Star, right? It's like, where are we going? This is the guiding star, and that's the direction we're going in.
Your mission is your purpose, your reason for being. And that's what you want to achieve. Not just your service, but the attributes associated and the impact on your clients' lives. I want to see your brand win, to embrace what makes your brand unique and challenge that status quo, creating a memorable identity that sets you apart from the competition and makes an impact on the trajectory of the business in a positive way. Start by asking yourself, what are your non-negotiables? What do you believe in? What do you want to achieve? And remember, just like a person, your brand is not for everyone. Of course, if we're going to speak about internal branding, we can't forget about building a solid why. Now, here are some considerations. List the reasons for your brand's existence beyond money. Ask yourself questions like, what inspired your business idea? What's unique about your founding story? How do you stand out? What problem are you trying to solve? Why does your brand exist? What need does it fulfill? And what do you stand for? 2, conduct market research. Research target market needs, wants, and pain points. This will help you refine your brand's purpose and create a value proposition that resonates with your target audience.
Over 200 million accounts on LinkedIn, for example. How you then position yourself is going to be integral into who you're writing to, what's in it for them. So your hook needs to really be, this is the problem, this is the solution, and that needs to be the first 10 words of your content. And if that isn't resolved, people are going to skip.
Then find common themes in the reasons. And lastly, create a clear, concise, and actionable why statement that inspires you, because at the end of the day, in those darkest moments, you're going to want to rely on a why that stands out, that resonates with you on a deeper level, as well as your team and your audience, so that they take action and believe in what you do as well. So my why is to challenge the norm and emphasize the importance of doing what's true to oneself rather than what's expected by society. So in a world where fitting in is often the norm, I strive for brands to stand out by being true to themselves. And that's why I ask the final question to all of our guests on this podcast of what is the biggest societal norm that you want to push back on and teach others about? And that is not even, related to branding strategy. It is on a deeper level because there is so much that we're accustomed to through, schooling, through society that we need to follow.
Some people can be happy and successful being like filthy, stinking rich, and that's cool for them. But I don't think that's a defined rule. I think there's plenty of ways other people can be successful.
Maybe it's time to question those things. Anyhow, I received 2 questions that I'd like to dive deeper into. And the first is of Maybrit, which was, what filtering questions can we ask ourselves to maintain a clear brand voice that we can apply for B2B and otherwise? And how do you maintain this across different platforms? I'd ask yourself these questions first. Why does my brand stand out? Understand who your audience is. Who are they? What kind of tone and style do they respond to? What is my brand's personality? What kind of language does my brand use? Then check out the brand archetypes. See what resonates with your brand. Is your brand snarky yet fun-loving, elegant and luxurious? What really calls to you on a deeper level? Not just, hey, this sounds cool. Hey, this sounds fun. No, this is not what you're going for. This is going on a deeper level. Then these questions will start you on the road to clarity. Finally, you'll establish systems to maintain. So like a brand guide, outlining the tone, language, and messaging style. Using templates like email templates, social media post templates, and onboarding scripts. And regularly review these for relevancy and consistency with those values. Now, the second question was from Renshaw. Sorry, mate, if I mispronounced that. But the question is how to spot incongruencies and inconsistencies in your own branding or someone else's. I'd look at these things, review the brand messaging, look for discrepancies between the brand's stated mission, values, and vision, and how they're communicated through messaging and content. Have a look at the visual identity. Things like logo, colors, typography, and imagery. Yes, these things do come later, but they still need to be aligned. Evaluate the brand voice. Examine the tone, the language, and style used. Have a look at the client experience. What are their brand's interactions with customers across different touchpoints? Look at inconsistencies in the customer journey or even the messaging. Consider the brand positioning. Compare the brand positioning in the market to the actual offerings, to the reputation, and the customer's perception. Identify any gaps or inconsistencies between the intended and the perceived positioning. Analyze brand associations. Examine the brand's partnerships, endorsements, or collaborations. So are you working with any influencers? Are you having any collaborations with other creators or other businesses? Do they really align with the brand's values and the target audience? It can be that while the people or the partnerships that you're working with have a mass following, they're not exactly in the same tone of voice as your brand or really giving out the same messages that line up with what your vision and your mission are. Then another big one is conducting a brand audit. Perform a comprehensive review on all your brand assets, including the marketing materials, advertisements, internal brand documentation. These are great ways to have a look and see if what you're intending to have your brand presented as and what is really showing are the same or if they're different. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening. Drop any questions you'd like answered about this show in the comments. And of course, stay badass.